Hi everyone, this is Matthew from Patchwerks, and this is the Arturia Keystep 37 controller and sequencer, sort of the middle child between the original Keystep and the Keystep Pro. The original Keystep had 32 keys on it and started at F. The Keystep 37 has 37 keys, as the name suggests, and starts at C. If you're familiar with the original Keystep, you'll have no problem getting started right away, as it has all the same features and functionality of the original Keystep with a lot of added features, and some from the Keystep Pro. You may have already noticed the dots above the keys. These are the LEDs similar to the Keystep Pro, used to indicate what notes you're playing and also to tell you what your settings are on your Keystep. Keystep 37 has 3 sequencing modes. Pressing Shift, we can see that there's mono, overdub, and when nothing is lit, it's the original sequencer. Mono is the original sequencer, but only lets you play monophonically. Overdub works more like a looper pedal. Next to the sequencer mode, we have scale mode. Chromatic, major, minor, blues, and user-defined scales. Going into a scale, you press down, and then over here, you're able to choose the root note. In C major, we know there's no sharps or flats, so none of these black keys should trigger a note in C major. But in fact, they only trigger notes in C major. Scale mode quantizes all the notes on the keyboard to the scale you would like to play. This also works with chords, which I'll show you in just a moment. When this button, labeled chord, is illuminated orange, you're in chord mode. Turning the first encoder, labeled type, will change the type of chord or the quality. Changing the notes encoder will change how many notes are in the chord. Changing the velocity to notes will change the velocity to the notes at the end of the chord, either making them quieter or louder at the end of the chord. Strum will strum the chord, either from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. Here is a minor 7 with 8 notes. Here's a minor 7 with 8 notes, strummed. Now, if you turn it into negative, it'll strum from top to bottom. Very cool. And in scaled mode, the Keystep will quantize your chords to your scale. So I am using a major 7 with 8 notes. Minor 7. You can also write a melody in chromatic mode and switch to scaled mode, and it will adjust your sequence according to the scale. Which is a great way to find new melodies from your existing sequence. Pressing this button will leave chord mode and will bring you into control mode. These 4 encoders will become CC controllers, and you have 4 banks that you can control. These are user-defined CCs. You define them in the Arturia software that you can download from the website. The Keystep 37 sports the same inputs and outputs as the original Keystep, with sustain, MIDI in and out, sync in and out, CV, mod, gate, and pitch. The difference between the Keystep 37 and the original Keystep is the Keystep 37 uses a full-sized USB-B cable, whereas the original used a USB-B micro. I hope this video was helpful. This is Matthew signing out, and I'll see you at Patchwerks.